On Global TV News Prime, federal government to sign an agreement with academic staff of Union of Universities linked to the 40% salary increase. In business, Naira strengthens to 1,424 Naira to the dollar as second trading week of 2026 ends. On the foreign scene, North Korea accuses South of another drone incursion. And in sports, Nigeria defeat Algeria 2-0 to advance to semi-final at AFCON 2025. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Shehu Said. And here's a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. The federal government is set to formally sign an agreement with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, following weeks of negotiations. The development may be linked to the 40% salary increase for academic staff proposed by the federal government last month and accepted by the union. A circular issued by the Ministry of Education invites vice chancellors and registrars of federal universities to witness the signing ceremony scheduled for Wednesday, January 14th, 2026 in Abuja. The Minister of Works and Housing, David Umahi, has issued a firm warning to contractors handling federal road projects, stressing that delays and poor supervision will no longer be tolerated. The minister gave the warning during an inspection visit to the ongoing expansion of the Mararaba-Kefi Expressway, a 43-kilometer project being handled by China Hebo Engineering Company. Kabir Hassan reports.
The Minister David Umahi led officials of the Ministry of Works on an on-the-spot assessment of the Mararaba-Kefi Road corridor, where he expressed dissatisfaction with the pace of the work and compliance with the earlier directive. The minister ordered the contractors to complete and hand over the project on or before February 2026, directing the submission of a detailed work timetable and a written commitment to meet the deadline.
Giving you end of February to hand over this job.
During the inspection, Senator Umahi also directed the immediate removal of hard model caps along the road, the concreting of the median, and the installation of solar power streetlights across the entire stretch. He blamed lapses on poor supervision by some of the ministry officials, warning that negligence will attract sanctions.
I'm directing the Farm Secretary to remove the controller, effective from today, and pushed him to my office to go and learn how to obey instructions. And the Farm Secretary will post another controller immediately, who will take over from you and who will learn to obey instructions. And to ensure Director Information, note this, 2026 an action year, and nobody will be spared. Discipline will be our watchword. Diligence is our watchword. Doing the work we are paid to do is our watchword, and nobody will be spared.
As part of the disciplinary measures, the minister ordered the immediate removal of a controller of works accused of issuing certificate for uncompleted jobs, declaring 2026 an action year of discipline. As part of the disciplinary measures, the minister ordered the immediate removal of a controller of works accused of issuing certificate for uncompleted jobs, declaring 2026 an action year full discipline, diligence, and accountability. The inspection included stepovers at strategic locations along the corridor, including the Kefi flyover, as the minister reiterated the federal government resolve to ensure quality road infrastructure for Nigerians. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
The National Industrial Court of Nigeria in Abuja has issued an order restraining the National Association of Resident Doctors and its members from embarking on the strike they planned to commence on January 12. Justice Emmanuel Subilim issued the order while ruling on a motion ex parte filed by the Federal Government of Nigeria and the Attorney General of the Federation. Listed as respondents to the motion and defendants to the substantive suit are the National Association of Resident Doctors, its National President, Dr. Muhammad Usman Suleiman, and the Association Secretary General, Dr. Shuaibu Ibrahim. In the meantime, the Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors has insisted on embarking on the planned industrial action scheduled for January 12, despite an order by the National Industrial Court stopping the move. According to the association's president, Dr. Muhammad Suleiman, only the National Executive Council of the Union could stop the planned strike. He said members of the association are not shaken by the court order, alleging that the government has not acted in good faith despite association's decision to suspend its earlier strike in November last year. Dr. Suleiman added that the association is still engaging the federal government and expressed optimism that the impasse could be resolved over the weekend. Meanwhile, the Association of Resident Doctors of the Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto, has declared full support for the nationwide indefinite strike announced by the Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors, effective Monday, January 12, 2026, over the federal government's alleged failure to honor critical welfare and training agreements. The decision followed an extraordinary National Executive Council meeting of the association held virtually on January 2 to review the implementation status of the Memorandum of Understanding earlier signed with the federal government through the Ministries of Health and Labor. The association said the review uncovered persistent failures by the government to fulfill key commitments, including the non-reinstatement of 5 disengaged resident doctors of the Federal Teaching Hospital, Lokoja, non-payment of accumulated promotion and salary arrears, and the partial implementation of the professional allowance table. Still on the planned doctors' strike, the Association of Resident Doctors of the Federal Medical Center, Umuahia, has announced plans to join the nationwide indefinite strike declared by the Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors from January 12. Its president, Godwin Alaide, stated this, adding that members have been mobilized to comply with the national body's directive. Alaide said the decision followed an extraordinary general meeting held to review the association's position and the Memorandum of Understanding with the federal government. He said the association opted for the strike due to the government's persistent failure to address doctors' legitimate demands despite repeated engagements. In the meantime, the North Central Caucus of the Association of Resident Doctors has demanded the immediate reinstatement of their colleagues sacked from the Federal Teaching Hospital, Lokoja, Kogi State. The caucus leader, Dr. Fan Ndogo, at a news conference in Abuja, said the affected doctors were dismissed over allegations of unauthorized protest and union activities, describing the action as unjust. Dogo said the North Central Caucus is aware that several committees have been constituted to review the matter, all of which reportedly recommended the reinstatement of the affected doctors. And away from health issues, President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima and their aides have been allocated 12.2 billion naira on foreign trips and local travels in 2026. This is contained in the details of the State House budget estimates submitted under the 2026 appropriation bill now before the National Assembly for consideration. The budget shows that foreign travels account for the largest share of expenditure for both offices amidst ongoing fiscal pressures and reforms. Meanwhile, a troubling picture of Nigeria's economic future is coming into focus as a new report by PricewaterhouseCoopers warns that rising inflation and weak income growth could push millions more Nigerians into poverty by 2026. For many residents of Abuja, the impact of these economic pressures is already being felt in daily struggles to afford food, transportation, and basic necessities. Kabir Hassan has the details.
A recent report by the PricewaterhouseCoopers projected that about 141 million Nigerians, nearly 62% of the population, will be living in poverty by 2026. The report raises concern that despite economic reforms and signs of macroeconomic stability, rising cost of living and weak income growth continue to place severe pressure on household welfare. In the streets of Abuja, the nation's capital, these challenges are already affecting market, traders, transport workers and other informal sectors.
It has affected our daily earnings so much in the sense that when you look at the income is not commensurate to what is there in the market again. So what you receive and what you used to make do it, you cannot be able to achieve that now again.
When you look at the current situation of the nation, it's clear that many people are suffering, while the prices of some items have dropped significantly. The major challenge remains the lack of income. People simply do not have money and has made life very difficult for many households. Comparing the situation now to what it was before, the difference is clear and cannot be ignored. The level of hardship has increased, and it is contributing to the growing rate of poverty across the country.
Responses from residents in Abuja highlight a common concern. Incomes are not keeping pace with the rising cost of living. Many say customers now buy less. Transport costs have reduced daily earnings, and survival has become more difficult. This views mirrors PwC's warning that without real income growth and targeted intervention, poverty levels may continue to rise. As Nigeria closes towards 2026, the PwC's report serves as a stark reminder that economic reforms must translate into tangible improvement in the lives of ordinary citizens without inclusive policies that reduce living costs and boost household incomes. The fight against poverty may remain an uphill task. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you, Kabir. Imo State has launched a new entrepreneurship program at the Imo Digital City in Owerri as part of efforts to strengthen its digital economy and support young innovators. Our Imo State correspondent Amarach Ibe has the details.
Imo State has taken another step in its push towards a technology-driven economy with the launch of the Founder Dojo Boot Camp at the Imo Digital City in Owerri. The program brings together young innovators and aspiring entrepreneurs for practical trainings focused on turning ideas into viable businesses. Governor Hope Uzodinma, declaring the program open, says the state is shifting attention from infrastructure development to building enterprise that can create jobs and grow the economy.
Imo State is rapidly emerging as Nigeria's hub for digital talent. Your talent can now have a place to grow. As I always maintain, skills alone are not enough. Knowledge must be transformed into enterprise. Our goal is here to help you take that idea in your head and turn it into a real business.
The managing director of Imo Digital City Limited, Stella Izenduka, says the facility was created to provide a supportive environment for young founders to develop their ideas into businesses.
This city is here to provide you the environment, the tools, and the partnership needed for your success. Your Excellency, sir, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, CON, on behalf of the management and staff of Imo Digital City, I sincerely thank you and the Imo State government for your unflinching support and visionary leadership.
The Chief Executive Officer of USMAC, Chris Boris, says the program is designed to prepare participants for the digital economy and global competition.
The future is here in Imo. We together are creating that future to bring prosperity here, to Nigeria, to Africa, and to the world. Our mission, as part of the Founder Dojo program, is said very cleanly here. We are here to help create the next generation of great global founders here in Imo.
With the aim of turning Owerri into a true startup hub, the success of this boot camp will ultimately be measured by the businesses they launch from here and the jobs they create. From Imo Digital City in Owerri, I'm Marachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
We are not done yet with Imo State, where Governor Hope Uzodinma says sustaining peace in Imo State requires constant vigilance and community participation. He speaks in Owerri as he inaugurates 7,210 members of the Imo State Vigilante Organization, drawn from 656 communities across the state. Again, our Imo State correspondent, Amarachi Ibe, reports.
It is a display of discipline and pageantry at Ndubuisi Kalu Square in Owerri, as Imo State government formally inducts 7,210 vigilante operatives into service. The operatives, 15 from each community, march past in a ceremonial parade, marking the end of months of intensive training. Governor Hope Uzodinma says the peace recorded during the last festive season, including the return of normal activities to areas like Okigwe and Dolu, shows that focused security efforts delivers results. He explained that the vigilante organizations, backed by law, strengthen grassroots intelligence and help prevent crime before it occurs.
With this inauguration, we are sending a clear signal to the nation and the world. Imo is open. Imo is safe. I want to assure you, Ndimo, that my administration will jealously protect the new Imo.
The governor urges traditional rulers and community leaders to support the operatives with timely information and warns that the state does not tolerate any attempting to disrupt the public order.
I will advise you do not mistake your new authority for an excuse to bully or harass the very people you are paid to protect. Any reckless abuse of power will be met with the full weight of the law.
The Commissioner for Homeland Security, Modestus Osakwe, describes the initiative as a strategic move to improve the safety of lives and properties across Imo State.
Properly structured, trained, and coordinated vigilante operatives, such as those being inaugurated today, serve as the eyes and ears of our communities. They complement conventional security agencies by providing vital local intelligence, rapid response capabilities, and a deep understanding of the terrain and socio-cultural dynamics of our people.
The highlights of the event include a parade, presentation of awards to outstanding trainees, and the handover of operational vehicles to local government areas. From Ndubuisi Kalu Square in Owerri, I'm Marachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
₦1 billion for uniforms and other clothing, ₦1 billion for drugs and medical supplies, ₦5 billion for rehabilitation and repairs of prison facilities, and ₦861 million for prison biometrics, arms, ammunition, and other security equipment. Data from the Nigerian Correctional Service website indicate that the total inmate population across the country's custodial centers stands at 77,438, with 50,357 of them awaiting trial. Reports and official records also reveal that thousands of inmates, including many facing serious charges such as terrorism and armed robbery, have escaped from 13 correctional facilities between 2019 and 2025. In a continued motion, the Rivers State House of Assembly has said that the impeachment process against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu is fully on course. Chairman of the House Committee on Information, Petitions and Complaints, Enemy George, disclosed this in a statement. He said the move is in line with relevant provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. And the Labour Party has officially recognized Abia State Governor Alex Otti as its national leader and extended its best wishes to the party's former presidential candidate Peter Obi following his move to the Coalition African Democratic Congress, ADC. This was disclosed by the party's National Secretary, Darlington Nwokocha, in a communique stating that the decision was reached during a meeting of the Labour Party National Working Committee. A fire outbreak has razed Wukari Local Government Secretariat in Taraba State, destroying offices, equipment, and vital documents. The incident occurred on Friday at about 4:30 p.m. at the Secretariat in Wukari Local Government area, about 320 kilometers from Jalingo, the state capital. The cause of the fire has not been ascertained as of the time of filing in this report. It was gathered that the fire was not brought under control promptly, leading to the destruction of most of the buildings within the Secretariat complex, with only the building housing the office of the chairman, located at the center of the premises, spared. You are watching the live broadcast of News Prime. When News Prime returns, fighting resumes in Aleppo after ceasefire collapses. Details shortly. Thanks for being there. We go into business where the Naira recorded a modest but steady appreciation against the US dollar in the second trading week of 2026, reflecting improving foreign exchange fundamentals and renewed confidence in Nigeria's external position. This is according to trading data from the official foreign exchange market and reserve figures published by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The currency closed the week stronger than the previous one, supported by relative market stability, a slight increase in external reserves, and optimistic medium-term projections from the Apex Bank. Now we go to the foreign scene, where the Syrian army is locked in intense fighting in Aleppo after Syrian Democratic Forces fighters refused to withdraw under a ceasefire. Aleppo's emergency chief Mohammed al-Rajab said at least 162,000 people have fled fighting in the city's Ashrafi and Sheikh Maqsoud neighborhoods. A Syrian military sources noted that the army is making progress in the Sheikh Maqsoud neighborhood and now controls 55% of the area. We now go to sports, where Nigeria have qualified for the semi-final of the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. The Super Eagles pulled off a stunning display to beat Algeria 2-0 in their quarter-final clash this evening to book their spot. The three-time African champions will now clash with the hosts, Morocco, for a place in the final. And as Global TV News Prime comes to an end, let's take a look at our top stories. We told you that the federal government is set to formally sign an agreement with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, following weeks of negotiations. And in business, the Naira recorded a modest but steady appreciation against the US dollar in the second trading week of 2026, reflecting improving foreign exchange fundamentals and renewed confidence in Nigeria's external position. And on the foreign scene, we brought you a report that North Korea has accused the South of flying another spy drone over its territory this month. And in sports, Nigeria have qualified for the semi-final of the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. And that's it on News Prime. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I'm Shom Saeed saying have a pleasant night rest.